I've never seen it.
Hey everybody, this is Never Seen It, the podcast where I have comedians rewrite famous movies they've never seen before. Today, having never seen Boogie Nights, joining us is Emily Heller. Thank you for being here.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Of course. And also joining us, who I'm just going to take a shot in the dark and say, who has seen Boogie Nights, is Josh Gondelman.
I have seen Boogie Nights. Thank you for having me on your show, despite having seen a movie.
That's okay. This is a movie I've also seen. What we start is like, not why haven't you? Because most people haven't seen, there's many things, but is there any reason you haven't? Is there like a I don't like P.T. Anderson? Is there like a it's hard for me to see a 25-year-old making a movie?
Was he 25 when he made this movie? Yes. Oh, that pisses me off.
Oh, yeah. It's a frustrating fact.
I will start by saying I can't believe it's taken you this long to ask me to do the podcast because the list of movies I haven't seen is so long.
You did have a lot. Oh, I wish let me see if I have that
and
handy.
I just sent you a small thing, and I tried to find at one point when I lived in New York, I wrote out, I think it was just like back when I had a Tumblr, I made a Tumblr post of like, here are the 80 movies that people yell at me for having not seen. Like, yeah. I'm one of those people who just hasn't seen most things.
Yeah.
I also am like that.
Really?
Yeah. I did see this with my parents when they had a free weekend of HBO.
A free weekend of HBO, and they were like, okay, well, we're definitely going to watch Boogie Nights.
Like, right. It's what's on. This is pre-Netflix.
This movie is all of HBO, all the content parents are worried about their kids seeing on HBO put together in one movie.
Yeah. Yep. Sex, drugs, violence. Wahlberg.
The big four.
What year did this movie come out?
I want to say like 93 or something like that.
No, it was later than that. I think it was like
97. Right? It says 97.
I feel like 93 he was still part of Marky Mark
like
and the
rapping.
Funky Bunch or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So I was too young for it when it came out, and then it was just like, okay, well now I have to find my way back to it. I'm a TV person more than a movie person. It's really hard for me to motivate to watch a movie.
Okay, but can you like rattle off like 3 TV, like a movie's length worth of TV pretty easily?
What do you mean?
Can you watch like 3 episodes of TV in one sitting?
Easily, yes. Yeah. Oh, definitely, yeah. And it's not the time commitment; it's the commitment to getting to know a new character.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I watched both episodes of the premiere of Better Call Saul, which is I love that show, and I watched that's 2 hours and 25 minutes worth of TV. And I think my girlfriend was like, are you still watching this? I'm like, it's only like a 40-minute show. And I paused it. And no, it's 2 hour and 5-minute episodes of a show. And I convinced myself it was one 40-minute episode of television.
Yeah, no, I mean, the number of Everybody Loves Raymond episodes I can watch in a row is seemingly limitless.
Sure. I just got into, I'd never seen SVU ever.
Oh, shit.
And she loves SVU. And so I am now...
It's so easy to watch.
I looked up dumbest episodes of SVU, and there's just really good threads, and I watched an episode where a monkey was being smuggled inside of a basketball. And it's like... They really...
to be fair, that is a very special victim.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like, this one...
that was the weapon.
In the criminal justice system, crimes against gibbons are especially heinous. It is really fun to watch, like, the ones that are barely about anything SVU, where they're just like, we'll call SVU in for this. And you're like, why? And they're like, well, the guy was killed by a tiger. In that episode, Big Boy got mauled by a tiger, and then they, like, stumbled into a gibbon smuggling ring. And
they're like, you can see the tiger's penis at some point. Exactly. It makes it a sex crime.
We thought tiger was a metaphor for a little while. We just thought it was a very promiscuous person. And...
This is a tiger in the sack and out of the sack.
We thought it was a cougar. That is sort of like bordering on statutory, but
they really are.
I don't even know why that's a crime. That's just like a cool kid. You know what I'm saying?
He's a tiger in the sheets and a gibbon in the streets is what they were looking for. I also really like the episodes where it's clear what it's about. And then they show the slide like 4 times, like no one in this it's not based on anyone. And you're like, but the guy's name is like Jekyll Maxon. And you're like, really? This is not based on anybody? This is just the singer who loves kids on a Ferris wheel?
Wait a minute.
Well, and then the other thing...
of the Crosby Show?
the other thing that they do on those episodes is they're like, oh, looks like we have a Michael Jackson on our hands.
I know.
Like, they'll just say the name of the person that they're parodying.
No,
to
they
be
don't
like,
want to get in trouble for parodying.
Take it again, Ice. Ice, you can't say that. Take it again.
We got a real Epstein situation. You're like, well, this is the episode about him.
Yeah.
I bet you do. There's actually an episode where like a maybe pedophile ring person hangs themselves in their cell, and they're like, "This is a lot like this reminds me of that."
And it's like, wait, so in this world, Jeffrey Epstein exists,
and this guy,
and this guy.
They do the same things. That's weirder. It's like a copycat criminal.
It is weirder.
It's also like when on like 30 Rock they'll talk about Steve Martin, and then Steve Martin's in the show playing someone else. And I'm like, I don't know what world I'm in anymore.
Right. And it's like, no one ever remarks that guy looks exactly like Steve Martin.
That was always the biggest stretch was in Ocean's 12 when Julia Roberts plays a woman who was posing as Julia Roberts at a museum.
Well, I have not seen that movie, but that sounds great.
It is a movie where like it's really, really fun, but nothing actually is even, it makes like the other bank rob Ocean's movies look feasible, where they're like robbing 8 casinos in 7 minutes. But in this one, they're just like, how are we going to sneak into this museum? And then it's apparently been a joke amongst all of George Clooney's coworkers that his wife looks like Julia Roberts. And so they're like, what if she pretends to be Julia Roberts? But Julia Roberts was apparently pregnant at the time. So she puts a pillow under her shirt and but then she runs into actual Bruce Willis. And actual Bruce Willis is like, hey, Julia, how are the kids? It's like, it's
like,
insane
this is
to like steal
impossible
an
to
egg.
follow.
It's all to steal an egg.
It's a Fabergé egg, I'm assuming?
Of course.
Yes, okay. I would love to be the screenwriter who's brought in to write the Ocean's movie to make the other ones look feasible. Like, your job is to write one that makes so little sense that the other ones look.
There's no casinos. They're stealing a Fabergé egg from a museum, and then spoiler, once the movie starts, they already have stolen it. And everything in the movie happens off screen before the movie. And at the end, the egg is stolen, and they're like, we actually already stole it on the train. And you're like, well, the train was in the credits at the beginning.
So that's also the like Reservoir Dogs structure in terms of like the heist already happened and now here we are. But you're saying in this one, you don't know that.
You don't know that until the end where they're like, actually, we stole it earlier in the movie.
They're pretending to do a whole heist even though they already have it.
Why didn't you tell me? I'm the audience.
Right. I won't tell Andy Garcia. I promise.
I don't even know him.
He's not here. I'm the only one seeing this movie for clear reasons.
Wait. So is Andy Garcia also playing himself?
I don't know. He owns casinos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was in the first one. Number 11.
And the third one.
Oh, man.
In the third one, he hires them to rob a bigger casino. It's insane when I say it all out. They're like, who has money, who knows we're good at stealing? The guy we stole from.
Here's the thing. It's like, you can make one good movie and then they'll let you make as many bad movies as you want after that.
Oh, yeah.
And that seems like such a good deal to me.
I think
that sounds so fun.
The Ocean's movies especially tell you in the title how many famous people are going to be in them. 11 and then 12 and then 13 and then 8, which 8 was such a fun swing where they were like, we're going to leave room for 2 sequels
to get back to before 11. Because then it's Ocean's 11 too.
And they can only have odd numbers of people in it.
Yeah, I would love Ocean's 11 too, which looks like Ocean's 112. So someone's just like,
that's Ocean's 112, where the R&B group 112 does a heist.
Ocean's 311.
Ocean's 911.
Ocean's 911.
That's the job they pull in that one is like way
That
less.
one would have Mark Wahlberg
You're not rooting for them in that one.
Mark Wahlberg would just stop the whole thing from happening if he was there.
That is my favorite. That's my favorite thing anyone's ever said.
I really
is that he would have stopped 9/11 if he had been on one of the planes.
It's like, What do you expect people's reaction to that to be? To be like, thank you so much.
We know,
thank
Mark.
Thank you for almost stopping 9/11, but you weren't on the right plane.
It feels like every movie he's chosen to be in since then was to try and prove he could have stopped it.
Yeah, just to like deter other people from doing future bad things. Like, in the future, I'm going to be here. If you do another one of those, this guy, he's going to stop you. I mean, honestly, Lifetime, on the record, he may have committed more violent crimes than he's averted.
Yeah, I mean, yes. We don't know that he's averted any of them.
Right.
So aside from his own, there's probably a bunch of ones he wanted to do that he didn't because someone was watching.
That definitely does not count. Like, I would have stopped 9/11 by not doing 9/11.
Yeah. I actually have been planning my own.
But then I was like, wait, I gotta be on the plane? No, thank you.
I got a fear of heights that stopped me from stopping 9/11.
I'm not gonna be on that plane. I gotta wake up at 4 a.m. to do sit-ups.
Part of the reason why I chose Boogie Nights of the many options of movies that I sent you, because I also sent There Will Be Blood and like
Sixth
there's a bunch
Sense, Dark Knight, any Marvel movie except Black Panther, $1 Million Baby.
All of those were options. But part of the reason why I chose Boogie Nights is because I happened to see a review someone posted of that new like super religious movie that Mark Wahlberg's in, where he plays like a boxer. Yeah, Father Stu. It's about like a boxer who becomes a priest, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Which is just like also amazing that he hasn't been in that movie yet before this one. It seems like
he had to
would have gotten
finance this movie so that he could be in.
But so in some, like, part of what I was reading was that, like, he's gotten like way more Catholic recently. And he had said about Boogie Nights, and this is one of two things I know about Boogie Nights, is that he has like asked God to forgive him for doing Boogie Nights.
God said no.
Yeah.
God, if God was on the plane, it would have gone down a little different.
I know there is no God. It's because he didn't put Mark Wahlberg on that plane to stop 9/11.
Right there. Come on, Geo single D.
I'm an atheist because Mark Wahlberg didn't stop 9/11.
It's not that it happened. It's that he had the answer to prevent it because there was another God making it happen. So
it's also right. I think if God were really serious about being good and loving, God would have sent Mark Wahlberg back to stop the Holocaust with a Wallacross. That's where Mark Wahlberg goes back in time to kill Hitler.
He would have punched Hitler and said, "It's Wahlberg."
Yeah. Yeah, wait, is he Jewish?
He's the least Jewish person in America.
No
I was gonna say.
I don't know what it was. I don't know why I feel so confident going, "There's no way." It sounds so mean.
There's no way.
It's really
impossible.
Is no way.
I would bet if you were to be like, who's closer to being Jewish, Mark Wahlberg or Louis Farrakhan? I know who I would choose.
Yeah, I know who Mark Wahlberg would pick too. Okay, so the other reason
I sort of worked a little bit backwards from that. So here are the two things I know about Boogie Nights. I've heard one line from it, which I did put in the script, and then I know that Mark Wahlberg felt compelled to ask God for forgiveness for doing this movie, and that it's in the 70s and it's about porno.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's
cool.
what I know.
So let us know.
It's a pretty strong starting point.
It is a good starting point.
Okay. So, Josh, I would like you to play Dirk.
Yeah, I kind of have been this whole podcast.
Yeah. I made Josh come on because I knew I needed a Boston accent.
For sure. Oh, it's not Dirk Nowitzki? Okay.
Yeah.
It would have been so funny if his poor name was Dirk Nowitzki. The big German.
In the 90s, like before he was in the NBA.
Kyle, will you play Busty Blonde?
Yep.
George Clinton and security guard? And I will be playing John C. Reilly.
Nice.
And I guess reading the stage directions?
Great.
Okay. So.
All right, whenever you're ready.
All right. Welcome to Boogie Nights. Okay. Exterior, Los Angeles, day, the 1970s. Los Angeles, California. We see the hills, the Hollywood sign, but it's the 1970s, so the smog, like the pubic hair of the time, is thicker than we're used to. This is foreshadowing. We're gonna see pubes later in the movie. A bus winds its way across the grapevine. It says Boston to LA Express on it. Interior bus, day, same time. In the bus, various Boston stereotypes smoke cigarettes inside without issue. In the very back of the bus, Dirk Goodboy, Marky Mark, looks out the window. A busty blonde stranger sitting next to him leans over him to get a better view. He's visibly scandalized by her jugs.
What's the first thing you're going to do in my fair city?
Probably hit up a Dunkin' Donuts, then become a movie star.
Hate to burst your bubble, Dirk, but LA isn't going to get a Dunkin' until 2014.
Well,
Dirk's face drops.
Well, dang. Guess I'll do the movie star thing first then.
He tosses his cigarette out the window. It lands in the shrubbery outside a Catholic church. Moments later, the entire cathedral is up in flames. The lighthearted funk of Boogie Shoes by Casey and the Sunshine Band kicks in. Title card, Boogie Nights. Exterior Hollywood Boulevard, day, a little later. We see Mann's Chinese Theater on Hollywood Boulevard. In front, tourists take pictures with street performers. But instead of the Iron Man and Dora the Explorer costumes we'd see today, all the characters outside are dressed like scrawny Adam West-style Batmen, and Laverne and Shirley. Nearby, the bus from before empties itself of its passengers. The busty blonde steps out, followed by Dirk. For the first time, we see his crotch. Even if he weren't wearing super tight bell bottoms, it'd be obvious he's smuggling a salami down there.
Well, thanks for making that a nice ride, Dirk.
She winks, then caresses his bulge.
Whoa, what are you doing?
What do you think I'm doing?
I've got no idea. I'm a virgin. For now.
Oh, well, you won't be for long. Not in Tinseltown, but hey.
She hands him a card. It reads, Boogie Nights, every Friday at the Hollywood Swingers Lounge.
If you're serious about breaking into the movies, you should come see my work. I'll be dancing. The place is crawling with era-appropriate execs. MGM, Paramount, Pan Am, all the big players.
I'll think about it.
Fade 2, exterior, Hollywood Street, night. Dirk emerges from a donut shop with a fresh glazed donut. He takes a bite, then spits it out and throws the entire thing in the gutter. He looks across the street and sees, to his surprise, the Hollywood Swingers Lounge. It's a sign. Interior Swingers Lounge, a little later. Dirk walks through the club, wide-eyed. It's a real sexy vibe. The busty blonde is up on a platform in go-go boots, doing that dance where you hold your nose and pretend you're underwater. Parliament Funkadelic is on stage. George Clinton grabs the mic.
Welcome to Boogie Nights.
Dirk looks around. There's a VIP section full of directors. He knows they're directors because they're sitting in those director chairs. He tries to enter, but it's roped off. He tries to climb over the rope, but one of the directors sees him, snaps his fingers, and a big Goonie security guard stops him.
Oh, yeah, this section is for the biz. Are you in the biz?
Not yet, but...
Then scram.
Dirk walks away dejected. The busty blonde, she's not getting a name, sees him and waves him over to her platform.
Dirk, you made it.
I was just leaving.
No, stay! I want to introduce you to my friend. He's a director.
John C. Reilly appears. This the guy you were telling me about?
Yep, John C. Reilly. Meet Dirk Goodboy.
John C. Reilly shakes Dirk's hand. Show me what you got, kid.
Right here?
John C. Reilly nods. Nervously, Dirk turns his back on John and the boob lady. He reaches down his pants, pulls something out, then turns around. He's holding a skull.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis no blood?
John C. Reilly rolls his eyes. Not your acting, kid. The tube. Pull out the tube.
What? No.
Come on, Dirk. I know you got a honker. Don't embarrass me.
Dirk storms off, flustered and angry. Interior bathroom, moments later. Dirk pulls up to the urinal, furiously unzips his pants, and pulls out his penis, using both hands to aim it. He starts pissing. Inside the urinal, we see his pee splashing all over a photo of the Pope. He hears a voice behind him. Holy pocket python, Batman. Our booby friend wasn't lying. Reveal John C. Reilly has snuck up behind Dirk. Dirk, startled, stuffs his dick back in his pants. Down near his knee, a piss stain starts to spread.
Look, I didn't come to Hollywood to show people my privates.
Right, you came here to be a star.
That's right. If I could just get past those velvet ropes.
John C. Reilly chuckles. His shirt is unbuttoned all the way down to his belly button, but he still retrieves a hidden lanyard with a pass on it. It reads, VIP Director's Lounge. If only you knew someone who could get you in there. Dirk gasps and reaches for the pass. John C. Reilly swats his hand away. First, you gotta do something for me.
What?
John C. Reilly tips his shades. A porno.
A sex movie? I can't be in a porno. I'm a virgin.
Ooh, baby, that's even better.
No, I don't want to pop my cherry with some stranger on camera.
Suddenly, the busty blonde kicks the door open.
What if it wasn't a stranger?
The busty blonde caresses Dirk's chest. Dirk gulps.
I don't know.
Look, I know it's scary, but look at those beautiful tits. And I know you can't see it now, but under those hot pants is a bush that belongs in a pussy museum. Now close your eyes. Dirk closes his eyes. John C. Reilly puts a hand on his shoulder and leans in close. Now picture ramming that thing, diggling around in there, those big old boobs flying around, slapping together. I know your head is saying no, but what does your Johnson have to say? We pan down to find out what his Johnson has to say. Dirk's giant penis hardens and rips out of his pants. We see it for the first time, full frontal. It's quite the hog. It's just one movie. You're gonna have to screw sometime anyway. Why not screw so hard that all your dreams come true? In his mind, Dirk sees the director's VIP area. His giant penis lifts up the velvet rope, tossing it aside. All the directors look at him impressed, even Francis Ford Coppola. He snaps back to reality.
I'll do it.
All right, Dirk, good boy, it's a deal.
I can't use my real name. I'll have to use a stage name.
How about Dirk Diggler?
It's perfect. Welcome to the porn business, Dirk Diggler. Hail Satan. He holds his hand out. After a long beat, Dirk shakes it.
Hail Satan indeed.
John C. Reilly and the busty blonde exit. Dirk grabs his own penis and delivers the only line I've heard from the movie.
You're a star. You're a star. You're a big fucking star.
The end.
It does have a good soundtrack.
I listened to the soundtrack a little bit while I was writing it to try and get in the mood.
Yeah.
To sort of feel the vibe. I don't know if that's cheating or not.
It is not cheating. I think you kind of nailed it.
Did I? Okay, yeah. How accurate was this?
Pretty good.
You know, I'd say you pretty much got it. I don't know what else happened. I don't want to give it away. It's a pretty new movie still. You could go check it out.
Yeah,
spoiler free.
Should I see the movie?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay,
it's good. It's a bummer, but it's good.
I will say, wait. So I did see Phantom Thread, and I liked that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I haven't seen There Will Be Blood, but what's the other Paul Thomas Anderson movie that I hated? The one
Magnolia?
The Master?
No, I haven't seen that. I was a little bored by The Master and I didn't finish it. I want to say Inherent Vice. Did he do that?
Yes.
Inherent Vice.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie. Why did I see that one?
I think that's generally the one that people would say is weaker if you're giving a Paul Thomas Anderson rankings, I suppose.
Yeah, but Boogie Nights is supposed to be good.
It's good.
Yeah, it's in the it's in the all-time movies for me. If I'm if it's pick out it's great. And also it's crazy, everyone in it is very good, and John C. Reilly, the cast is pretty wild.
Who does John C. Reilly actually play in the movie?
He is also a porn star who befriends and then feels threatened by Mark Wahlberg's success.
Because he does have a big penis in it, right?
He does.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I knew
a
that.
lot of his deal. And I would say it's his whole deal, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, it is a lot of it. This is his performance in this is the closest he ever is to Andy Samberg's impression of him on Saturday Night Live talking about animals. But that is a lot of what it is. But it's a great cast. It's good. It is. God, I cannot imagine watching this movie with my parents.
Oh God, yeah.
I also can't imagine it because I remember it.
I wish you had to imagine it.
I wish I had to imagine it, correct.
Yeah, how uncomfortable was that, Josh?
Deeply, really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's not even just that it has sexual and explicit content, that it's the downtime is only also about that. It's like relationships circa porn.
Yes, and it's not like glamorous. Like it's not like a sex scene that's like campy or silly. It's not like the violence isn't like fun and exciting. It's like all.
It's just bleak.
It's like horny and sad.
It is. I don't know how real, but it just does feel grounded enough to be like, is this an Alone movie? Even like, would I even watch this with like the person closest to me?
Oh yeah,
but it's very, very good.
The idea of watching it with my wife feels like I don't want you to see what I see when I see this. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't want you to see like what headspace this puts me into.
Oh yeah, this is a rough one to watch someone watch. This would be a weird one to have someone watch you see for the first time. You ever like if someone shows you a movie and they're just like looking at you, but they're like, oh, she didn't laugh. Oh, I always laugh at that sad part. But I think it's good. I always want to animate these. That's like my goal with this is to make a cartoon.
That's a good idea.
And I'm looking at this and I'm just like, penis moving velvet rope like might be what gets this on Hulu.
I probably could have been clearer about how the penis is moving the velvet rope. But I wanted to leave it.
Yeah.
I wanted to leave it open to the director.
Sure, it's good to like leave people those choices.
Hooking it and just like.
Flipping it off.
Well,
I think that's what I pictured.
Was
also,
he circumcised in the movie?
I
don't know either, because that's a whole different visual.
Back to the is Mark Wahlberg Jewish question.
That's true.
We will get to the bottom of this.
He uncircumcised himself as an adult.
Mark, did you borrow my soldering iron again?
Yeah, I gotta put my foreskin back on, guy.
I call it a 5-skin. Okay. I can't stop thinking about his schedule.
Yes,
you were talking about he would do sit-ups at 4 a.m. or something like that. Emily, do you remember the Mark Wahlberg schedule?
No.
Yeah. Oh.
Wait, have I never seen a Mark Wahlberg movie? I think I maybe haven't.
I'm trying to think of what he was in. The Other Guys might be one that you've seen with Will Ferrell.
Nope.
Departed is a good call.
I'm trying to think what The Town. Was he in The Town? Probably.
I feel like I haven't seen most of the like sad guys from Boston movies, aside from like Good Will Hunting.
He's also in this very specific genre of movie that's like American hero is what I would call it.
Yeah.
But not military. He's just sort of like cops are great.
Buff for unusual reasons types.
Yeah. Like imagine if you were a guy who thought he would have stopped 9/11 from happening.
It does feel like all of his career choices since then. That will be what I believe that now. I'm just going to talk. That is what he is doing. Oh, so his schedule was this thing he'd post on like Twitter or Instagram or something that showed his schedule, and I pulled it up. Mark Wahlberg's typical daily schedule: 2:30 a.m. wake up.
What?
2:45 prayer, 3:15 breakfast, 3:40 to 5:15 workout, 5:30 post-workout meal, 6 a.m. shower. This is my favorite part. 7:30 a.m. golf, 8 o'clock snack. So he golfs for a half hour.
Half an hour?
I wonder if he just goes out and drives balls or something in the backyard.
Maybe, yeah.
9:30 a.m. cryo chamber recovery. 10:30 snack. 11 o'clock family. So it's like he's
wait. But 11 o'clock till when?
To 11 o'clock is family time / meeting / work. And then at 1 o'clock lunch. 2 o'clock meetings and work continue, but family have been like kicked out of the schedule.
Oh my God.
Pick up kids from school at 3:30. Snack.
Who is this family if not his kids?
Well, yeah. No, 4 o'clock workout 2, 5 p.m. second shower, 5:30 dinner, 7:30 bed.
7:30 going to bed.
7:30 going to bed.
Because he has to wake up at 2:30 a.m.
Why not shift all of that just a little bit? I guess if he wants to, there's a lot of stuff he wants to do before he starts working, I guess. But
I feel like he made this whole list just to put prayer time in an Instagram story. It just feels like a long walk to get that particular thing, or cryo chamber recovery.
Yeah, dude, if I'm not in my chamber for like an hour every day, I start getting real creepy.
I'm reading his schedule, and he just looks like someone who falls for every podcast ad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like 2:30 a.m. Get out of Casper mattress. 2:45 a.m. Monthly box of curated oddity vegetables shows up to my door.
4:30, just any CBD product I can get my hands on.
Yeah.
11:30 to 11:45. Browse stamps.com.
Post shower, put on me undies. Go into meetings and work.
Here's why that whole thing made me feel like a loser, and it's not because it makes me feel unproductive, because most of that is stuff that's really pointless, but it makes me feel like a loser because I totally do this kind of like scheduling shit. Like, it makes me feel like a loser, both one, for having this in common with Mark Wahlberg, that I'm like really into like process stuff and like routine stuff, but also my daily schedule starts at like 11 a.m.
That's right.
Fine.
Mark Wahlberg's already been up for 8.5 hours.
He's in the cryo chamber when you're getting out of bed.
Okay, I don't count.
You think you're gonna golf with Mark Wahlberg after 11?
You're gonna play either hole? You think he just hits it down to the green and then back to where he teed off from, and he's like, golf.
Just back and forth.
You're waking up at 11. That's when I'm spending time with my family, but not my kids. They're at school.
Yeah, what the fuck is he talking about?
That does sound like what he would call sex, because he's very Christian.
Maybe that's when he's... You know how he says it's family / meeting / work? I think that's when they're doing all of their like family meetings about the Wahlburgers franchise.
Sure.
I call up Donnie. We double dip, family work meetings. Triple dip.
FMW.
That's a triple dipper.
Ooh, write that down. That's a good burger. Write that down. Tiny burgers, you dip into different things.
And their brother that's the chef is like, what's a triple dipper? Dude, make it happen.
Triple dippers are such a bad idea in the COVID era.
You don't need people going back into a liquid.
Yeah.
I don't even single dip anymore. I eat my corn chips dry.
He is either the most or least paranoid person about COVID. I think that would be a fair assessment about Mark Wahlberg.
Fully unvaccinated, never worn a mask, or
hasn't
he's
seen
just
a person in person since.
He had his cryo chamber expanded to live entirely inside of it throughout COVID.
No, for a while, I was really putting the cry in cryo chamber. I was so worked in there. But I feel that's probably what he is with everything. I feel like it is either the thing he believes he is the foremost expert on, or he denies it
or he
and
just
doesn't let it
give
into
a
his circle.
shit about it.
It doesn't make it into family meetings.
What a feeling to go through the world with.
Yeah.
Like, just like, I'm amazing. I'm the best in the world at this. I don't care about that. Those are the two categories of things.
I would have stopped 9/11. It's better than him being like, I would have let Oklahoma City still happen. The guy, did you read his writing? I mean, I've never seen someone use semicolons so properly.
Persuasive. He reads all the manifestos and judges them on their merits. You know, the Unabomber had some points.
Look, the older I get, the more I go see a movie. Like I saw the Batman movie, and the bad guy, I agree with everything the bad guy does until there's 6 minutes left in the movie.
Right. And then you're like, oh, you can't do that to a hospital.
But like the bad guy in the Batman, I guess is like he like killing corrupt politicians, and I'm like, all right, it's like that guy was probably doing more harm than this. It's literally there's 6 or 7 minutes left in the actual movie, and then I'm like, oh, you just lost me, Riddler.
You just lost me.
You just lost me right now. It's like, this is going to take, because I'm just like, the people will have to work overtime to fix his problems. And I'm like, this is just, they're going to be tired.
I would have signed up for your MLM until then.
I know. It's just, I
do feel like
ideas.
It's not like a new thing to say that Batman is not like the most sympathetic hero, but it is like very true that like, for so long, he was just a rich guy who beat the shit out of like pickpockets and stuff. Like, why did we ever think that was a big enough social problem that we felt we needed his protection?
I saw someone tweet something like, imagine jumping a turnstile in Gotham and you get your nose broken.
Well, there's like a lot of, I feel like they have to, within the world of Batman, be like, not everybody likes Batman. Some people think he's like kind of intense.
Yeah.
He's like a little much.
Batman's Instagram is like 229, wake up.
Think for 1 minute about how I'm better than Mark Wahlberg.
Family/meeting/Riddler.
Family is crossed out because they're all
Family's crossed.
That's more time for meetings.
Write bad Yelp review for movie theater exit. Why did they leave out the back of the movie theater? I don't want to victim blame Batman's parents, but
I always forget that it was a movie. I always picture them as like having gone to a play,
like an opera or something like that.
I assumed it was the opera. Yeah.
No,
but
in
it
the
was
first
a movie.
Batman, they were actually going to see that movie where the train comes at the screen. and Bruce Wayne got so terrified in the 7-second clip, they had to run out the side, and they got beaten down by a guy with a loop and a stick.
They ran out
from the literal train.
It's actually, if he hadn't seen the bats when his parents were getting murdered, he would have become a train-based vigilante. That's what
you're talking about the conductor. And his electricity-based friend, the semiconductor.
Oh no, it's the third rail.
It's the third rail. That's his move when he doesn't kill bad guys. We got a couple games we're going to play to wrap up here. I got my the first game we're going to play is called Before and Afters.
Before and Afters.
How this works, I'm going to write the time code down. I'm supposed to do that, I forgot. How this game works is 2 movies have been smushed together into one movie. I will read you the smushed together plot. You have to tell me the smushed together title. Like Before and Afters on Wheel of Fortune.
On Jeopardy.
On Jeopardy, yes.
Yeah.
So for instance, we could do Boogie the Dark Knights or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It could be one. Wolf of Wall Street, Fargo is an example. They're not well done.
Okay.
So they can be in any order, all those. So does that make sense? I'll start off with the easier ones and we'll get a little harder. And feel free to work together or...
Okay. Let's work together.
Or viciously compete.
Yes.
That is my inclination.
Lots of times people want to work together until one of them gets one. And then
no. Not me. I'm here to share.
My husband and I just watched the entirety of Amy Schneider's run on Jeopardy, so I'm ready for this.
Okay. I love
but you've
those.
also seen no movies.
Yes, also that.
So
I've
this
seen
is
no
just
movies.
any of the trivia from this show I recently watched. I like it when someone's really on a run on Jeopardy. It kind of feels like the only thing everyone's kind of happy about.
It is the one of the existing vestiges of the American dream.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, and it's like you can when you watch the show, it's like the host is always like, "Who? People are watching Jeopardy? Wow, I'm very excited about this."
Yeah.
But we watched them after it aired, so it was like we knew when it was going to end and we knew when she was going to win. I know. I mean, she won like 40 games or she played 40 games, but it was sort of like a little bit bleaker than I think it would have been if we were watching it live, because every episode we watched, we were just introduced to two doomed people who had no idea they were like being fed into a wood chipper.
Yeah, just ensigns on an away mission with Captain Kirk.
That was always a fun thing that Trebek was good at. We during COVID watched a lot of the Jeopardy ones, or the Netflix ones, Jeopardy episodes. But it's like, this is series 1 and it's 8 episodes. So you're like, oh, I know they lose in 8. Because it would always be one person's run. But by 6 or 7, Alex Trebek is like, talks to the 2 new people, and he's like, oh, good luck. They think they're smart. That's why they're there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is a whole other level of thing.
I actually talked to someone who played Amy Schneider, because I posted a screenshot on Instagram, and he was like, hey, that's me. And I was like, whoa, how did that feel? Like, very, very unlucky. And he was like, yeah, I would really love to come back, because I do think I could win like a couple games if I wasn't up against one of the greatest of all time. Right.
There's like 3 or 4 contestants who've been in like a quarter of the show from massive runs. And like, if I just hadn't, if I didn't play the Yankees in the 20s, I probably could have been good at baseball.
Right. Because it's not quite like they are smart. It's not a Harlem Globetrotters, Washington Generals situation.
They're all so much smarter than me. And I'm just like, buzz in faster. Saying that to the person falling asleep. I think a lot of it's the buzzing. It has to be.
Yeah.
I think increasingly, I learned recently that it's like kind of increasingly game theory based, the way people attack Jeopardy. Because it used to just be like, I'll go from 1 to 5 because 1's the smallest number and 5's the largest.
Right.
Now people are like gaming it a little more.
Who was not Ken Jennings, the more recent one who had the really
James
Matt Amodio?
He's who sort of introduced the game theory stuff.
James Holzhauer?
James Holzhauer, that's who it is. Because he would always start and just try and find the double. That was like his whole thing, was to not let the opponents get the double, because that's the most important thing. So he'd be like, I'll do this one for 4, this one for 3, this one for 5, and just be jumping.
Yeah,
and he also didn't want anyone to get in a knowledge rhythm. So I remember watching a thing about him.
He would just like switch categories and
that
stuff.
That sounds like a pickup artist strategy. Like, don't let her get in a knowledge rhythm.
I'm not going to say that vibe is inconsistent with watching him play Jeopardy, too. You're watching him and you're like, this guy thinks he can do this with everything.
It was weird that he had an old fashioned during the show, but not out of character. Okay, here we go. I'm hitting the button again.
Before and afters.
Here's the smush together plot. You tell me the smush together title. After a one-night stand, a rising journalist decides to give an irresponsible slacker a chance to prove he is father material, and he uses the opportunity to carry their house away to South America via a bunch of balloons.
Knocked up? But it's just up?
It's just up. It's knocked up with an exclamation point. That one plays on paper.
Okay.
Podcasts on paper. All right. They're going to get harder, I hope. The vice president must migrate south to avoid the freezing of the planet 20,000 years ago.
Oh.
It's Ice Age.
It's Ice Age, and then something that ends in ice?
Vice president.
Vice president. Oh, Vice Age.
There it is.
Imagine Dick Cheney just trying to grab one acorn.
Aww.
And Ray Romano's there.
Cute.
It is kind of cute.
I don't know why I was like, Ray Romano was in Vice. Why that's the movie I assumed he was in.
It's because Ray Romano, notoriously friends with Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
That movie really came and went and didn't get like. Sometimes it happens with the biopics. They're either like the biggest Oscar-winning thing, or everyone's sort of like, wow.
Well, that was an Oliver Stone one, right?
No, Adam McKay.
Oh. I don't like either of them as filmmakers. So that's tracks.
I mean, maybe it's just that cadence of director's name. It's the same syllables, the same emphasis.
Yeah. I also think it's cheating to make a movie about things that everyone remembers.
Right.
Yeah.
That seems to be what a lot of stuff is now, though.
Yes. Well, I mean, a documentary is now just a bunch of footage of anything that happened. That's what a documentary As long as it's 8 hours and 6 hours too long, that's a documentary.
We have no hindsight on it at all.
Yep.
Yeah.
No perspective. Just like, remember this? Like, yeah, it's still happening.
I watched like a documentary on an airplane about like a half-hour documentary about Legos. And it was interesting for like 8 minutes. And then they were like, and then Legos got the copyright to Star Wars. And then they just talked about like what Lego's doing now. And they're like, Lego Star Wars pieces are for Star Wars sets. I was like, how is this?
This is just a Legos commercial now.
It's like if I read a Wikipedia page and then gave the presentation right after. And it was filmed. But it is just everything that happens immediately. That CEO, there's the Hulu show about her, and that stuff just happened like 6 months ago.
And there's already been a documentary about it, and there's going to be a movie about it.
Yeah. Everyone has been, it used to be everyone would be Winston Churchill in the same year. That guy has been gone for a while. Now everyone is just being someone I know what that person's, I follow them on Twitter. They shouldn't have 3 different mediums of consumption.
3 different actors.
Gary Oldman was Winston Churchill like 2 years ago, right? Because dads need movies, like our dads. I guess grandpas. Like we talk about dad stuff still, like dad stuff, Fleetwood Mac. And it's like, nah, that's grandpa stuff.
That's grandpa stuff.
We are dad stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'll always be like, that's dad music, for 70-year-olds who are retired at my house I grew up in.
Dad music is Radiohead.
Yeah.
I have to. My dad called me.
Death Cab for Cutie.
Yeah, dad music is like, even Pearl Jam is like older for dad music now.
Dad music is Tupac.
My dad called me to let me know he watched a whole movie because he never ever does. And it was new. And he kept describing it to me. It was Pixels. It was the movie with Adam Sandler and Kevin James. And he was like, I just watched a new movie. You'd be so proud of me. I watched the whole new movie. It was crazy. And I'm like, who's in it? He's like, Adam Sandler. Because he knows Adam Sandler. He's like, and then the mall cop. And then I don't remember anyone else. And there's like a bunch of other very famous people in it. But and then he's just like, it was crazy. There's a giant Pac-Man. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So I Google it. And I'm like, was it called Pixels? And he goes, no, I don't think so. And then I just keep, eventually I'm like, yes, it was I'm like on Comcast website, like, is Pixels on demand?
Oh, God.
But he loved it. He's like, it was just crazy. I don't know how they made that giant Pac-Man. I'm like, computers. It's like, oh, yeah. That's how they made the first Pac-Man. Like, the first one wasn't real.
Yeah. Have they ever made an analog Pac-Man?
No, I don't think
there's not Pac-Man. Pac-Man doesn't have a size.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good point. I mean, I guess he's relative to the fruit that he eats.
Right. Or is it big fruit? Pac-Man is the size of a hallway, basically.
That's true.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But then
important.
the ghosts are smaller, which makes me think that they're not dead Pac-Man. They're a different species.
I never even thought about what the ghosts were.
Yeah, who were they?
Who were they when they were alive?
How fucked is it if they were dead Pac-Mans?
I mean, I guess it would sort of like
regular
make
ghosts
sense.
Hunt people, yeah.
Yeah.
So Pac-Man ghosts would hunt
I guess it's weird if he's like, it's a dog. I guess that's weirder than it being a Pac-Man.
Right. That one's the Lindbergh baby.
We really shouldn't have put Robin Williams' ghost in Pixels. I don't think we own the rights to this. Okay.
Get ready to play.
Next one. A writer becomes fascinated with the lavish lifestyle and past of the wealthy pollinating insect that he moved in next door to. This one didn't read very well.
Ooh, wait.
A writer becomes fascinated with the lavish lifestyle and past of the wealthy pollinating insect that he moved in next door to.
A writer. So it's probably B-movie.
Is it Bjarten Fink?
No, but my favorite part about the game is the wrong ones that are like smushed together. Is it Bewali movie?
Wait, what are movies about writers who are obsessed with rich people? This feels like
The Talented Mr. Rippy?
No, but I love that too. This is how I come up with other ones.
Movie?
Ripley.
Wait, will you read it? Will you read it again?
A writer becomes fascinated with the lavish lifestyle and past of the wealthy pollinating insect that he moved in next door to.
Oh, the Great Gatsby
movie.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We have 2 more. I think they're getting increasingly hard to get. A beautiful princess with magical hair must escape the tower she has been locked in so she can defeat the evil CEO of Lecter Corp, a company that makes cigarettes, alcohol, and fast food.
Tangled. But then it's like Edge. What was that movie
about? It can be any
about?
sort of order. A beautiful princess with magical hair must escape the tower
true.
she has been locked in so she can defeat the evil CEO of Lecter Corp, a company that makes cigarettes, alcohol, and fast food.
Isn't it that movie where it's like, thank you for not smoking? Or is that a different thing?
I think it's a different thing.
That's a different movie. Thank you. With the Aaron Eckhart.
Yeah. Is this a fucking Batman thing?
No.
Okay. Wait, will you read it one more time? Sorry. People are screaming.
A beautiful princess with magical hair must escape the tower she has been locked in so she can defeat the evil CEO of Lecter Corp, a company that makes cigarettes, alcohol, and fast food. This other movie is one I just had to Google the plot to.
Lecter Corp.
I feel like it's one of those like Idiocracy type movies.
I will tell you, if for a hint, Tangled is the second movie.
Okay. So it's a movie that ends in Tang.
Oh, Pootie Tangled?
Oh, wow.
Pootie.
One of the few movies that ends in Tang.
Yeah, that's why I thought the hint might get us there. So it ends in Tang.
Dr. Strangled.
I think they call that Zodiac. All right, we're moving on.
Please, Dr. Strangled was my father. Call me.
Call me Pootie. Pootie Strangled. This one. No, this isn't good. This one won't work either. I tried to come up with some new game idea. All right, this one's a new game. It doesn't have a song yet. All right, this game is called What Movie Is This an Anagram of? So how this works is I give you a category, and then I give you an anagram that I think... I put a movie title into the anagram robot. It spewed out anagrams. I picked the one that I think could also have closest to been a title for this movie.
Okay.
So for Goodfellas, it could be Lads El Goof. That was a good one they had. Django Unchained. There's Danged Ninja. Ouch. That one. That one's pretty close. These are all Jim Carrey movies. I'll give you a category. I tried it once without categories. It's too hard.
Yeah.
So these are Jim Carrey movies that have been anagrammed, and I picked the closest anagram.
Okay.
Number 1, Cave Nature.
Ace Ventura.
Ooh, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Number 2, Human Worst.
Truman Show.
Yes.
Wow, you're so good at that.
All right, our last one. This one doesn't make it. A Bugler Mythic.
Oh, wait.
He's been in so many movies.
What's that one about the theater?
The Majestic.
The Majestic?
Mm-hmm. No G.
Oh.
Sometimes this helps.
A Bugler Mythic.
Oh, a Bugler Mythic.
For people listening, it almost spells Ithaca. I wrote it down so they could see it. People say the circular is a good way to solve anagrams.
Because you can kind of cross-pollinate.
Yeah.
Is it the Cable Guy?
It is not the Cable Guy.
Oh, wait. What are some other Jim Carrey movies?
Liar. It's not Liar, Liar.
It's not Liar, Liar. It's not Dumb and Dumber.
I put Liar, Liar in, and it was like Lair, Lair. I'm like, that one will probably be pretty easy to write down.
It's not Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's not Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's not the number 23.
Oh, wait. Is it Bruce Almighty?
Bruce Almighty.
There it is.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's good.
I need celebration music. That's it. That's it for the anagram game. That takes too long. Our final game that we're going to play today is called Guess What Movie Trailer Kyle's dad is describing, having only watched the trailer and never having even heard of the movie.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Guess what movie trailer Kyle's dad is describing, having only watched the trailer and never having heard of the movie game.
How this game works is my dad watches a movie trailer, writes down what happens in that movie trailer, and then reads back what he's written down. Mm-hmm. So it can be any movie ever. It's important to remember, like I said, Pixels is the only movie from this century, I would say, my dad has seen all the way through. So he doesn't know actors, doesn't know a lot of things like that. Let me go ahead and pull it up here. No. Okay. Here we go.
Okay. She's got headphones on. She's in a field. It's all static. The author won a Pulitzer Prize. Putting the headphones back on. Some quick shots of Earth. Now some helicopters are flying in.
Contact.
Holy crap, it is Contact.
Wow. Wow. I was going to guess Don't Look Up.
Oh, wow.
Oh, sure.
Oh, wow. What gave it away? The information, I guess.
Pulitzer Prize plus space plus female protagonist.
Wow. Great job. Let me see. Well, let me see if I can find another. Yeah, I'll do one more. Since we got that one so quick, we'll do one more.
I'm bad at knowing things, great at guessing things.
That's a good way to go through life, I think.
I'm stupid and intuitive.
That sounds great.
Okay.
I think I'm the same way.
It's going to be beautiful. He's giving a speech. I recognize this guy. They're kissing on rocks. Oh my God, what happened to him?
What dreams may come.
He got sucked into a cave. It's one of those things she might have heard about. She went home,
Palm
but
Springs?
now she's still there.
It is Palm Springs.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow,
Okay.
this is the greatest, most successful round of this game that has ever existed.
And also, wow, what a classic way to describe Andy Samberg is. Oh, hey, I know that guy.
Yeah, there's no way he knows his name.
Yeah.
But I think my dad watched SNL sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's in the Corona commercials with Snoop Dogg now.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's where he knows him. My dad knows Martha Stewart just as a friend of Snoop Dogg.
Your dad's been kind of a Snoop-centric entertainment cosmos.
And he only knows Snoop from the halftime show. So it's been a very weird, like, he's reading the book backwards type of situation.
There was definitely a while where it was like the only musicians that my parents knew, like the new ones, were all just whoever had been on SNL.
Sure.
I was like, you're the ones who this is for, kind of.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents are really into Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah. They were like, I guess we love the Arcade Fire. I guess.
We don't know where else to find new bands.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's it for us. Emily, thank you for being here and having never seen Boogie Nights.
Thank you for having me.
Josh, thank you for being here and having seen Boogie Nights.
Thank you for having me. This was a pleasure.
If either of you have anything you want to let people know about, this would be a good time to let them know about that.
Oh, you go first, Josh. I have to think of one.
Jesus and Mero is back on Showtime Thursday nights at 11. I work on that television show. I'm not just a fan, although I am also a fan. And I'm doing some stand-up coming up a little bit here and there, mostly here, but occasionally there. And joshgondelman.com is where you can find that information.
Season 3 of Barry's coming out. It's probably out by now by the time you're hearing this. You can follow me at Mr. Emily Heller. I'm not promoting any of my own personal projects, so I don't know why you would do that. But I'm trying to actively become less and less notable. So don't follow me.
Oh, that's good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Follow
everyone.
other people so that they have relatively more followers than I do.
Mm-hmm.
We're just trying to skew the numbers up that way.
Yeah.
How did Biden get 81 million? The least counties? The least counties.
It's because of Emily.
It's because of me.
The Emily Heller dilution factor. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the podcast. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Starburns Audio.
I've never seen it.